All right, everybody, welcome back for another deep dive. And today we're tackling someone who, well, let's just say he keeps things interesting. Lasco Atkins, right? The filmmaker, the actor, the historian, was it rapper at one point?
Don't forget the self-proclaimed expert on Viking shoelaces. Apparently, historical accuracy is a must, even when it comes to footwear.
Oh, yeah. Gotta love that commitment to detail, no matter how obscure. Which, by the way, leads us to a mountain of source material for this deep dive. We've got his IMDB page, which reads like a history of action cinema, a synopsis for The Last Viking that I swear could double as a dissertation, and of course, that gem of a YouTube description for Time Punk. Seriously, it's like he speaks in riddles.
Don't forget, we've also got a bit of history with Mr. Atkins ourselves. Remember that episode we did on Blade Runner, where we discussed his, shall we say, evolving relationship with the film?
Oh man, how could I forget? Started with boring, ended with him practically building a replica spinner in his garage. I swear, the man's a walking testament to the idea that you should never, ever meet your heroes.
Or in this case, your cinematic blind spots. But that's Lasco Atkins in a nutshell, isn't it? He dives headfirst into everything, and just when you think you've got him figured out, he throws you a curveball.
Which is why we're here, right? To try and connect those dots, make sense of the chaos. So let's start with that IMDb page, because it's a wild ride. We've got those early 80s action, homages, explosions, one-liners, enough hairspray to rival a Def Leppard concert.
Oh yeah, those were the days. You know, even back then, you could see that fascination with pushing the visual envelope. Remember that scene in Blood Money where he rigged a car chase with actual fireworks?
Wait, the one where the stunt coordinator almost walked off set because it was too dangerous? Yeah, that sounds about right.
Exactly. He's always been drawn to that kind of over-the-top spectacle.
So we've got this love of action, this clear comfort with, I don't know, a certain level of cinematic mayhem. Then he goes to film school, supposedly to study the greats, and has this almost allergic reaction to Blade Runner.
Oh.
Just like, what?
Well, you know, knowing Atkins, it wouldn't surprise me if initially the pacing, the nuance of it all just felt a bit too, I don't know, cerebral. He strikes me as someone who wants to feel a film viscerally, not just analyze it.
Okay, that tracks. But then he doesn't just dismiss it. He obsesses over it, dissects it, figures out how to make those visuals work for him.
Exactly. And I think that's where his background in camera work comes in. This isn't some director who's content to just shout action from behind a monitor. This is a guy who's probably crawled through more ventilation shafts with a Steadicam than most of us have had hot meals.
Oh, absolutely. And that hands-on experience, that deep understanding of how to create a mood, build tension through visuals, it all feeds back into his work.
You can see it in every frame, every carefully crafted shadow.
So he's not just captivated by the spectacle, he becomes a student of the spectacle, dissecting it to create his own brand of cinematic magic.
Yeah.
And this, I think, is a good segue into that historical obsession, because if there's one thing Lasco Atkins is going to do, it's commit. I'm picturing him on the set of The Last Viking, like refusing to break character, demanding historically accurate mead between takes.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised if he had a hand in brewing it himself. You know, insisted on using authentic Viking-era yeast or something.
Yeah, I can totally see that. But speaking of The Last Viking, it's not just about the spectacle, right? I mean, that synopsis you sent, the guy clearly did his research. The battle sequences, the costumes, even the dialogue. It's like he went back in time and took notes.
He's meticulous about it. But there's also that sense of fun, that willingness to play with history that keeps things interesting.
Okay, like what?
Well, remember the scene in the synopsis where Harold Hardrada challenges the Byzantine emperor to a rap battle?
Wait, seriously? I thought you were kidding me about the rap battle. That actually made it into the script.
Oh, yeah. Pure Lasco Atkins. He takes these historical figures and finds these unexpectedly modern ways to make them relatable.
Okay, so we've got the action, the history, and a healthy dose of the absurd. Which brings us, of course, to the enigma wrapped in a mystery, shrouded in. Well, we're not sure what yet.